Okay, turn 27. Agartha has sent us a Dwarven Hammer. It's part of that deal that we made last turn. Turn Nog has released me from my non-aggression pact obligations. He said that over Discord, so I went ahead and attacked last turn. We hit construction level 4 just in time. We cast Dark Knowledge and Voice of Tiamat and unfortunately found nothing. But, you know, you win some, you lose some. We moved into Sinextro with a pretty large army of mainly Lobo Guard. Wiped out some province defense with no real problem. We are starting to starve in Sinextro. I didn't expect this. Sinextro has almost no population and garbage supplies. Why it has so little population, I'm not entirely sure. But I'm moving away a good chunk of my forces. Like, I think a strict majority of my troops are moving down here. Yeah, about 70 or so, those guys. That should relieve the supply pressure. Because I already do have a number of diseases and stuff, and, like, I don't care about the chaff, but I would like them not to die until they've accomplished something. Fortunately, being starving does not actually affect Lobo Guard at all, because what starving does is it causes a morale penalty, and the Lobo Guard don't care about morale penalties, so that's nice. But I want to make sure none of my mages start starving or anything. Which, I mean, okay, let me be clear. The mages won't starve, because commanders eat first, always. Like, all the troops have to be starving before the commanders start starving. But still, I'd like to get those guys moving out of the way. Agartha will be taking this province, he let me know. He doesn't have any problem with me taking Sinextro, which personally I think is fairly foolhardy of him, to be totally honest, but great. I love it. So, we're going to give this guy a hammer, and we're going to have him forge Shrouds of the Battle Saint, which he can do for 3 gems each. So 9 gems for a hammer, sold. Especially Astral Pearls. I'll literally make that back in basically 1 turn. Over here, we're building a lab in Endless Ocean. We're also building the fort, so this will be finished upgrading momentarily. I would also like to get a temple, probably down here in the Darks. I just need to get another temple. Actually, I'd like to get a temple and a fort in Emerald Lake, is what I would like. So let's move down to Emerald Lake. This army is actually moving backwards, and it's moving backwards in order to pick up some more troops, where I'm recruiting a bunch of Lobo Guard here and another mage. So these mages and those Lobo Guard are going to join the army. Shamem is patrolling. We'll pause to patrol to make sure to resolve that event. And then we will move out to towards Fo Moria. This army, after it's taken Sinextro, will consolidate back underwater. Excuse me, and we will also move them to attack Fo Moria, I think. And so I think we will combine our forces on both sides, hit Fo Moria with a whole bunch of troops, and hopefully we'll be able to break in pretty quickly. Now, they will have Nemedian sorceresses inside summoning skeletons, but unless he has a lot more defenses than I've seen so far, I think we should be able to deal with skeletons. So that should be okay. Now, the trick will be busting down the walls quickly enough, because he does have 500 wall integrity. I've got 200 siege strength here. That will be reduced some by casualties and losses from disease. I've got 73 siege strength there, and 41 here, which will be added onto, but I can't use all of it, because these guys, the Amber Clan Guard, cannot go above water. So I need more siege strength. I think what I'm going to do, actually, is cancel that Amber Clan Mage, and down here, pump out, like, a lot of Lobo Guard. And I mean a lot of Lobo Guard. My big limiter is actually going to be magic leadership, because I only have so many mages. And in order to counteract that, what I'm going to need to do is, I've got decent research done. Enchantment level 5 will help me, but I don't need it yet. So what I'm going to do is actually take a whole bunch of mages here, including my Water 3. Yeah, and for communion purposes, we want to have as few cross paths as possible. But I don't think there's really any good nature things we could be casting. Well, haste. Haste is a decent one. What else? We could actually cast Foul Vapors with a Nature Mage out of a Communion. So we could drop Poison Resistance on the Communion and Foul Vapors. It wouldn't kill the undead, but it would kill the Nemedians and the elves pretty efficiently. That is a thought. That is a thought indeed. So yeah, I'm going to take actually all of these mages, and they're just going to go right down here. That plummets my research, but that's okay. My research can be low for a second. And I should also, I want to get thaumaturgy level 3 after that. So you're forging the shrouds. Everybody else is moving down here. We're going to pump out, like, a whole bunch of these guys. In fact, I'm actually going to kill off whatever other recruitment I can in order to maximize that. Because just siege chaff is what I need. So yeah, let's get another 23. So we'll spend a turn or two just absolutely churning out siege chaff. And then we'll go in. So this army will explode in terms of siege strength, and then we'll surge down here to Fomoria, join up with these troops, and hopefully crack the fort in one turn. That's the goal. And of course, the other part of the goal is to make sure that we are not seen doing that. So in order to avoid being seen, we're going to come through this way. And I'm actually going to ask Therodos if I can go through the Holy See. Because if I can go through the Holy See, because here's the thing. Fomoria can't see anything in the water that isn't next to one of their territories unless they've spent death gems on summoning black servants, which in this situation might actually be a wise thing for them to do, but they might not think of it. If they don't have black servants, there are no above-ground amphibious scouts that can be recruited. So they shouldn't be able to actually see me. If I go from here, they can't see this because they don't have any provinces adjacent to Boat Eater, so they can't see me recruiting. In fact, they shouldn't be able to see this army. So if this army goes back here, waits a turn, picks up more troops, then goes 1, 2, 3, what should happen is it should just kind of pop into existence from Fomoria's perspective right here in the Holy See. This army can't be seen in its current position. It can be seen here, so they'll have a little bit of warning of this force moving. But I'm just kind of moving around, and we'll, I'm hoping that I can catch them without their defenses fully prepared in Fomoria. And basically, in order to do that, what I need to do is I need to stop them from moving these troops up to Fomoria, and I need to stop them from pulling back their troops over here that are attacking Niefelheim. Their army has actually gotten into Niefelheim's cap circle, which is sort of hilarious. I need to see what that army is. I'm hoping they attack Niefelheim. Niefelheim does seem to be under pressure from Pangaea as well. So Niefelheim might be going the way of all the earth, but definitely I'm going to take advantage of this opportunity to hit Fomoria. So that, I think, is the turn. In terms of research, like I said, enchantment level 5, then thaumaturgy level 3. Thaumaturgy level 3 will give us Mind Vessel just in time. And then we will want to go down thaumaturgy a little bit further to 5 pretty soon, because that will give us Soul Slay, Sea Trolls, and Growing Fury, which can be useful. It's less useful for me, actually, than for other nations, because I already have infinite morale slaves. But, still useful. I have also, while I'm thinking about it, since I have Construction 4, I can now forge a Robe of the Sea. So let's do that. All my mages will move down here, and then I'll have one of them put on the Robe of the Sea and summon Kidnits, which I can do because I have enough gems for that. And that will give me a whole bunch more quite effective chaff with Awe, and I can add those to my army and keep on trekking. So, that is the turn. I'll see y'all on turn 28. So, basically, my plan here is, I guess this whole thing doesn't actually matter because he'll see these troops down here. So if I move through there, 1, 2, converge. Yeah, I think that's, I can just move straight, I think. I think that'll be fine. So yeah, we're going to, we'll patrol Shemem, we'll patrol next turn with this army, gather up more water gems, more magi, and prepare for the assault on Fomoria. So, thanks for watching. I'll see y'all in turn 28. Okay, turn 28. Therodos has sent me a message, and I think this is because he saw my videos that have just now started going up, which include me musing about attacking Therodos, which is fair. I mean, I'm quite honest in these videos about what I'm thinking. Now, that doesn't mean that what I'm thinking stays the same. Of course, it changes from turn to turn, much less from video to video, and especially when you're a year behind, my thinking does change pretty rapidly. But, you know, of course I'm thinking about attacking Therodos. They share the lake with me, and they're the only real threat to my homeland, as it were. But for right now, bigger fish to fry. Fomoria. This is the old ghost is all we have seen elves, so many elves. The armies of hell have sacked old Arco. That's not actually true. You'll notice the armies of Hell... So Hell has taken over, like, most of Arco's land. Arco still has Arcoscephale itself. We'll just kind of have to see what goes on here. We are slowly pushing back Therodos' dominion, which is good with our various preachings and temples. Need to be doing that more, though. I'm sitting here contemplating whether I want to empower Torkul, because... having an Astral 5 chassis, and especially an amphibious one, would be really handy. It would cost me 75 pearls. And I'm not sure if it would be, like, vital. Because if I don't, then I have to get up to enchantment level 6 before I can boost, because, I'm sorry, construction level 6, because construction level 6 is when I can start building Starshine Skullcaps. And then with Starshine Skullcaps, I can then forge crystal coins, which are the booster that I can apply to aboleths, because they don't have hat slots. But if you see here, Holber cannot, that was the wrong button, Holber cannot forge. Crystal coins are available, but he's not high enough level Astral to forge them. Actually, you know what? Cheaper way to do this would be just to empower him. Because I could empower him for 30 pearls. But empowering Torkul would just be inherently useful to have him be Astral level 5. It would be, it strikes me as a little bit wasteful, especially because my Astral income is pretty decent, but not, like, amazing. I would like it to be more, and it isn't right now. We are, however, going to take this army. We're patrolling for one turn, as I said, and then we're going to... You can have those guys as well. We're patrolling for one turn while we churn up another big Grippa Lobo Guard, and while we summon a pack of Kidnids. And then we're going to march down south towards Fo Moria. So we should be hitting Fo Moria. So 29, 30, 31, 32, turn 33 we should be hitting Fo Moria. That will also give me time to build up a few more troops up here. I'm running short of cash and not recruiting many mages, which is very unfortunate. Don't need another slave mage there at the moment. Give me a slave mage up there, and more lobs, more labas. Recruiting a mage there, that's valuable actually. Zothaquoth should preach here in the darks. No, actually he should go down to Emerald Lake. That's right, I wanted to have a fort and such in Emerald Lake. So I'm gonna have to save up some money for that as well. But yeah, this army has about 200 siege strength all told, which should be able to roll up on land. And then we've got 100 siege strength there. We've got 98 siege strength there. A lot of these guys are diseased at this point, and so will die off, but they're just chaff. Who cares, really? We will replace them. We have the technology. So we'll pump out another more Lobos here. So turn 33. So 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. So 29. So next turn I have to move out with these troops. And I've also got these troops under Tokt right down here. So that's another 48 siege strength. So I think we can muster the siege strength to bust this fort in one round, unless they have a lot of elves sitting inside Fomoria. Which I don't think they have all that many. I think we can do this. We are storming Sinextra. We're slightly over supply usage. I didn't estimate quite perfectly. Got a decent little communion that will be summoning water elementals. They will, unfortunately... I've got 4 communion slaves, so they'll be doing it at effectively water 4. So that's half fatigue. Then my slaves are all water 3 instead of water 2, so they'll be taking half fatigue. So overall, we should be summoning water elementals for... it would be 100 fatigue down to 50, split between them and the 4 slaves, and then halved for the slaves. So it should end up being about 16 for the masters, and 10 or so for the slaves. So we should be able to churn out all of our water elementals without killing anybody, which is the goal. And then there's nothing defending this fort except defenses on guys on the walls, so we should be able to just storm the place with minimal casualties. All your troops are belong to us. Moving back down here, I think I actually am just going to empower Holber and give boosters to my aboleths. Let's do that, because that's cheap for right now. So we'll do that. That'll let me make Torkul Astral 5, so that once I hit enchantment level 5 next turn, he can cast the Eyes of God, which will be nice. It will give me all dominions at all magic sites. That will give me incredibly useful targeting information. It will also give me Foul Vapors, which of course I can cast, assuming I can throw down poison resistance on my troops. So I need enchantment 7 for Serpent's Blessing, And I would need a fairly large communion for that, because I don't get nature 2 natively anywhere, only nature 1. So unless I empower in nature, which would be horrendously expensive, I can't actually get Thistle Maces. What I should do, however, is give that Lightless Lantern to that guy, and you can start moving around site searching for nature, because I can't cast the nature site searching spell. A, I don't have the level yet, and B, it requires level 2 nature. So let's move Azog around to site search for nature, because there's a whole bunch of provinces up here that haven't been searched for nature. You can actually take a break to search for nature sites. And over here we have cast Voice of Tiamat a few times, which is good, but I want to save my water gems now, because I'll have 17 next turn, which will have to be divvied up among mages and launched towards the attack on Fo Moria. Once we hit Fo Moria, assuming we win that battle, which I think we should, then it will be a question of where we go after that, and it might be, at that point, time to start rolling up the rest of Fo Moria's territories. So we'll see. We'll see how things develop. Therodos, I think, has almost finished completely fortifying all of his water, and it doesn't look like he's really gotten onto land. I need to move a scout over in that direction. It's so hard to be spending fort turns recruiting scouts. That's actually enough mages there, so tell you what. Why don't I do that? Start getting a couple of scouts going. Got a mage up there, which would be valuable, because I don't have all that many up here. And then I have just my research cores back here. Not recruiting anything in that fort. Recruiting a slave mage over here. I have recruited another mind lord who is Astral 4, Water 4, which is a pretty good level. He got the extra path. And I think we will name him... we need to name him something appropriately stupid. Let's name him... Ican has brains. There you go. So, got Ican has brains. He's just researching for right now, but I don't really need him to be researching. What I'd like is actually, I'd like to hit that thaumaturgy level 5 and start being able to spend my pearls enslaving sea trolls, because slave trolls are pretty solid. They come with gear and all that. They are good shit. Plus, of course, I want to get down to level 6 to enslave mind anyway, and then Vortex of Returning, all that stuff. Once I hit level 3, I can start doing Mind Lord teleport shenanigans, where a Mind Lord carrying an Amulet of the Fish teleports. Actually, that reminds me. Aha, I can now forge Amulets of the Fish. Yes! So at that point, since I can forge Amulets of the Fish, and I'm about to hit, once I hit Thaumaturgy level 3, Mind Lords can then teleport onto land and summon water elementals, and against unprepared provinces or undefended provinces, that's super, super effective. They don't have much protection, which is the biggest weakness of Mind Lords as thugs in this sense, but they can cast Liquid Body, Body Ethereal, and Astral Shield on themselves, which means that people attacking them have a high chance to be paralyzed, they take half damage from most sources, and they have a 75% miss chance for non-magical weapons. So you can stack all that on Mind Lords, and then if possible, I can give them a Flying Shield, which gives them a protective force. So Amulet of the Fish, Flying Shield, or potentially Ring of Regeneration can be useful. Ethereal, Astral Shield, all that good stuff can add up to something pretty effective. Of course, if you random Earth random Mind Lords are really good at that, because they still have Astral 3, they still have Water 3, and then they have the path that lets them push their protection up to 20, which is solid. But, you know, you can't always depend on that. What I do need to do is, after I recruit... Actually, I'll tell you what. I'm actually going to cancel these guys up here. It's not that many of them anyway, and what I need is... I need more Mind Blasters if I'm going to be fighting Relay underwater, or at least I want more Mind Blasters. So just as a... you know... just as a defensive precaution here, we're going to recruit a Giboleth, and then we're out of recruitment points, aren't we? A Giboleth, and then we need people with high magic resistance, which is the Tritons and the Merfolk Guardians. So let's recruit some Triton Slave Guardians over here, because the high magic resistance comboed with anti-magic will make it very difficult for the ghosts to actually hurt me much, which is, of course, what I want. Okay, so that, I think, is the turn. About to take our first throne. We're making this guy our prophet. And Talked is just gonna patrol real quick right here. And we're standing here. This is an amphibious unit, Talked and his slave troopers. So he could theoretically go up on land. But I'm not sure that we really want to fight Helheim at all. I think right now we want to focus on Fomoria, taking Fomoria out, establishing ourselves on land. And once we're on land in 2 places with 2 solidly held forts, we're in the money. Then at that point, we are in a pretty good position, and we might be able to accomplish something with it. So, thanks so much for watching. I'll see y'all in turn 29. Alright, folks, it is turn 29. Holber has successfully empowered himself in Astral, and Mother Oak has been cast by Interestingly, good. Good for them, bully for them, glad for them. They can have it. I cast Dark Knowledge, didn't find anything. Cast Naiad Warriors, got a bunch of kidneys. And I found 2 magic sites in Lake Vastness. They're both the same thing. They're both the Monstrous Conch, which gives us a nature gem. So my nature income just doubled. Fantastic. Relay has declared a slave priest, their prophet, our prophet, I should say. And there was a battle in Black Peaks, Rus attacking Ulm. So this war continues, and this was Rus attacking with a small party of Chud Skinshifters against a small army. But including, what up, I got a great sword, the Svartalf Master Smith. So, interesting. I don't know what happened here, I haven't actually watched this. All of these guys appear to be on guard commander around, well, that's a lot of damage! The Prophet, who has an effigy of war. Perceived army size plus 50 units. I must have missed this. But in any case, these Chud Skinshifters are actually getting the shit kicked out of them. In come the Earth Elementals. The Chud Skinshifters are decent counters to the Earth Elementals, but... So here's the interesting thing. The Prophet has been killed. The Earth Elementals are getting hit, but since all these guys are Berserk, they're not running. And they have that larger bless, so they're size 5, so as soon as they drop the Earth Elementals by 1 size, the Elementals can no longer trample them. So I'm honestly not sure. I mean, I think what's going to happen is they're going to kill everybody else and then get killed by the... Oh, nope, it looks like they're getting trampled. Yeah, 1 Earth Elemental managed to stay size 6. That one bear charged forward. He only has 1 hit point. Oh, God. There he goes. He got punched to death. Man, I was kind of rooting for those bears, to be honest. What happened to What Up, I Got a Greatsword? Did he run away? I think he ran away. Yeah, he retreated. Okay, so he summoned a bunch of Earth Elementals and then ran away. That's fair. Well, that's a lot of damage. Was dropping Word of Stone, which wasn't working for him. And yep, the attack was stopped. They killed a bunch of Province Defense and 3 Atavi infantry, so definitely not worth it. And there was a battle at the Fortress of Sinextro. I didn't actually need to commit to this battle as hard as I did. But I just did because I was a little bit worried. I did lose this guy to profuse bleeding. He got hit with a rock by the slingers on the walls and bled to death. My water elementals didn't really contribute anything because they were blocked by the chaff. And so the slingers just were standing up there throwing rocks at my chaff. Lobo Guard are actually one of the units that's a really good target for slingers because they have no protection. So the slingers just threw rocks at my Lobo Guard and scored a bunch of kills. They threw the occasional rock towards the mages. They only got the 1, but 1 is 1 too many. And my chaff units slowly beat the slingers to death, while my water elementals that I'd summoned ran around doing nothing. So, I lost 1 mage, 22 Lobo Guard, 2 slave troopers, and I took the fort. And unexpected event, I got a ton of gold, a bunch of gems, and the copper arm, which is really neat. So, we now have this throne. We're building a temple and we should be building a lab. Yes, we're building a lab as well. Atun, give that gem to someone. Give that gem to him. My mages are actually going to stay here for now. They're just going to stand here because next turn, we're converging troops into this province. Next turn, we will move up into that province. We have pretty significant army, including a few more mages. So we've got about 100 infantry, I believe. 30, 25, 37, 13. Yeah, about 100 infantry. Excuse me. Coming up with a slave prince to lead them and a bunch of mages. These mages will join them. I can now recruit on land here, and I could recruit Androleths, but I'm spending all that money already. Also, Androleths require 23 recruitment points, and recruitment points here are shit, because it has a population of 800, as I mentioned. I don't know why, but that's just the way it is. So recruitment points almost nothing. I can recruit 1 Androleth per turn. Once I have the lab and temple, however, I will be able to recruit Androdai, which is a lot more important, because they, of course, are my land mages, and they are the ones that I can cast Mind Vessel on. So I'm really hoping that they random anything except Astral, because when you cast Mind Vessel on them, the Astral level of the Mind Lord overwrites their Astral level. So if they randomed Astral too, then it's just like, well, okay, who really cares? In any case, also their age is very low, max age of 5. So after they've lived 48 turns, or 4 years, they start getting afflictions, which can actually happen in the course of a game. They're one of the few mages that can happen to. Over here, we're recruiting another Mind Lord because we have almost hit the point where Mind Lords start becoming super relevant. Enchantment 5, Thaumaturgy 3 will both be researched this turn. That will give me the Ritual of Returning, as well as the Eyes of God, and it will give me Mind Vessel and Teleport. We'll then be going down Thaumaturgy to Thaumaturgy 5, and after that, we're probably going to research some Alteration, because Will of the Fates would be a great spell to get, and Wish and Time Stop also all good. The other option is just keep going down Thaumaturgy towards Master and Slave. That's a pretty good one. We'll see which way I kind of want to swing. Enchantment, Arcane Nexus, also super, super tasty. I would love it. Anyway, Turquil over here is holding the hammer now, and is forging Amulets of the Fish. Holber, likewise, is actually also going to forge me an item. He is going to forge me a crystal coin. And as soon as I get... Actually, no, he is going to forge me first booties. He's going to forge Earth Boots, and then forge another hammer so that he can sit here for the rest of his life forging crystal coins at a discount. Torquil, meanwhile, is going to forge those amulets. The goal, of course, is to get an amulet on every single Mind Lord I have. The copper arm, I'm actually going to just leave in my treasury for now. I don't need it right at the moment. The main use of it is that I can give an Aboleth an arm. An Aboleth of some kind. But Aboleths only have 2 slots, so it's like, well, what do I need a hand for? Now, if you want to thug with a Mind Lord, having a hand to hold a shield of some kind can be useful, like a Vine Shield. But you really need an Earth Random Mind Lord before that seems like a decent idea, so I'm waiting on that to come up. Icon has Brains, of course, is just Water 4, Astral 4, which is fine, but it's not the right paths for thugging, necessarily. This Mind Lord might give me something cool. In terms of troop recruitment, we're actually going to cut all these guys out. I don't need a million more Lobos right at the moment, so just, just take that all the way down. Cut those guys out. Go back to recruiting a mage. Up here, I'm not recruiting anything except mages. Over here, I'm not even recruiting a mage, actually. Over here, I am recruiting a slave mage and a bunch of aquatic troops. I have signed a non-aggression pact with Therodos. We had a discussion with Therodos. I've been vacillating for a while on whether or not I'm going to just roll in and attack him, which I think I could win at this point, but he is dug in pretty hard. He has a lot of undead, and right now I'm already kind of committed to pushing my way up onto land and fighting Fo Moria. So I would rather focus on one thing at a time. So we have a non-aggression pact 3. If he decides to end the non-aggression pact, I should have time to do something about it. If otherwise, we'll just let it be for a while. I mean, I'll build enough temples and such that I'm not at severe risk of getting pushed by his dominion too bad. If he starts dom pushing me really hard, then I'll probably have to declare war on him. But I'm fairly confident that at any point, at this point, I think I can run him over. If I have to. I'd just rather not have that fight right now. Also, Arcoscephale is finally going down. They are being besieged by Helheim. They've got a pretty big army of mainly corpse constructs here, so lots and lots of chaff. They probably have some thunder strikes or something behind it. And I think Arco's just going to die. I don't think they can stop Helheim since they've lost literally all the rest of their land. But Fo Moria, I think I can take. Fo Moria over here seems to have made actually really great progress pushing into Niefelheim's territory, so Niefelheim seems to be in dire straits. Fo Moria, of course, I'm sure has some elves here, and they're moving more Furbolg warriors in that direction. I'm hopeful that what I can do is, just timing-wise, he'll only be able to see my troops once they appear here and here. And at that point, I'm hoping that his troops will have moved on a little bit. That's my goal. We'll see, and we'll see if he reacts when my armies show up there and there. He should. Like, let me be clear, he should absolutely pull back and start to defend his capital with everything he's got. But I have a secret weapon. It's not actually all that secret. My weapon is Foul Vapors. I have down here, I've deployed some nature gems on my nature mages, and I can cast with those nature mages carrying nature gems, because I have actually quite a few nature gems that I've saved up. In fact, I'm going to send more. Where are you going? Yes, you're joining the army. You are actually going to site search for nature sites again, so that's fine. But yeah, with my nature gems, I can cast Foul Vapors really easily out of my communions, and I can also cast, what's that spell? Since I have enchantment, Poison Ward, which has an area of effect of 15, so it hits a pretty big swath of troops. Now, the real secret here is water elementals. We can look at this battle at the fortress to show you their qualities. Get some water elementals out. Okay, so water elementals are poison resistant 25, so Foul Vapors does not hurt them. And they have 30 hit points, so every water elemental I summon contributes a lot towards avoiding an HP route. Lobo Guard don't have poison resistance, but I don't care about them. Like, it's okay if they die. The only reason to try and preserve them is to avoid an HP route. So I can, if I want, start my army in a big old blob when I go to break Fo Moria, drop several castings of Poison Ward and Foul Vapors out of my communion, and then have everyone rush the walls with water elementals leading the charge. That should, I think, win me the fight. Because Poison Ward gives 10 poison resistance to AoE 15. 10 poison resistance means you die from poison only very, very, very slowly. If I bunch my mages up, which often is a bad idea, but in this case I think might work really well, they can Poison Ward themselves very efficiently and also Poison Ward my troops pretty efficiently. And I have some fairly high quality troops. I have the Kidnids, which have the Awe, so they're very hard to attack, and Prot 15 plus a shield, which in the early age especially makes them very, very tough. I have my Slave Guardians with armor, which are not bad and have pretty high damage, and then I have just tons and tons of worthless chaff that I don't care if they die. And that, of course, is Relay's strategy completely. I will also, of course, if I want to, with Enamels of the Fish, be able to get, and teleport, be able to get Rafflecopter, Ican has Brains, and all your troops are belong to us up into the fight. Now, I don't have the research right now to make them super, super useful, because all they have is Astral and Water, basically. But I will, if I push up to Thaumaturgy 5, I will have Soul Slay, which could be useful, especially if they have some, say, Fomorian Kings that don't have Magic Resist gear yet. And Paralyze. And that could be, those are both very, very good and very spammable astral combat spells. I won't hit 6 by the time the fight starts. In terms of enchantment doesn't give me anything combat-wise. It does give Quagmire, which penalizes units for fighting on difficult terrain. That could be useful, but I don't think so. And I don't think I'll be hitting Alteration any real distance anytime soon. The main use of putting my my Mind Lords into that fight would just be that they could summon water elementals even better, and they can do it outside of the communion. So that's a thought. I may commit the Mind Lords, I may not. I don't have many of them. Right now I only have 3 plus Turkul, and I definitely do not want to commit Turkul. Well, actually, I tell a lie, because Turkul has Air 2, which means that... Nah, that takes level 6. I was thinking Aerofend. If I ran down to Evocation level 3, he could cast Mist. And that would limit the precision, would damage the precision of the Fomorian missiles. That would be pretty cheap. That would be a pretty easy pickup in a couple of turns. I might do that, to be honest, because the other thing that Evocation could potentially give me would be Sleep Cloud out of my Nature Mages. Sleep Cloud ain't bad either, because Clouds proc 3 times a turn. And it just sends people to sleep, so that's fine by me. Evocation from Astral, Healing Light, don't care about. Arcane Probing, don't really need it. Solar Rays, You really have to get up to Evocation level 5 with Astral before you start getting anything good. Stellar Cascades and Astral Geysers are both pretty okay. At the highest levels, Astral Tempest is sort of hilarious, but only if you have a mindless magic user or someone with super, super high magic resistance. My Mind Lords don't have they have really high base magic resistance, and you can slap an Amulet of Anti-Magic on them to push it up to 23. and then cast Resist Magic to push it up to 27. At that point, Astral Tempest is kind of a good idea, because other people are unlikely to have 27 MR, and you can teleport them onto a Mage Blob, Astral Tempest it, and then if they have a Ring of Returning or something, they can just zip out as soon as they take damage, because they have enough hit points to tank a hit. So that can be sort of hilarious, and that's definitely something you can use Mind Lords for. I will probably be trying to recruit as many Mind Lords as possible at this point. The only reason I would recruit anything other than a Mind Lord in Relay is because I don't have the cash. And not having the cash is, of course, a symptom of not having expanded enough. So I will be working on that. We've got 299 siege strength here. This army has 100. We've got another 50 there. We've got a few more, a little bit more here. Another 60 there. So yeah, I should be able to pretty much bust down Fomoria in one turn, maybe two. And with a little bit of Thaumaturgy research, I should be able to effectively counter whatever thugs or super combatants he sends out at me by spamming astral spells like Paralyze at them. So I think I'm in a pretty good shape to attack Fomoria. We'll find out if he has some kind of trick up his sleeve in the next few turns. But in any case, thanks for watching. I'll see you in turn 30.